Aloha, dear hearts. Well, I didn't think I'd be back so soon, but the subject hit hard and fast. And I'm in the backyard again. But look what happened to our table. These little mushrooms just popped up out of the blue for no apparent reason. I have lived here 15 years. Never, ever have I seen this before. I haven't even seen these kind of mushrooms before. And then some timeline just had it happen. So it kind of goes along with the subject. And the subject is about relationships. Like the male-female bonding relationship, the marriage, the partnership, the that kind. And I think it seems like it just happens. The one you're with. Love the one you're with. So my one and only marriage happened just a few days after I graduated from high school. And it just happened. It was a fella I'd known for quite some time. We had even been engaged, and then my last year of high school, we moved to another town, and I broke off the engagement because we were so far apart, and I just needed to live my life, and I did. I did a little exploring and dating, and then when it came to graduation, I thought, well, am I going to college? What am I going to do? And it just seemed natural. I gave him a call. I said, let's get married. I'm ready. He was ready. We got married, had a child within the first year. It just felt natural for me personally to do that. Then 3 kids later, we split up, and it was just a natural kind of split. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't ugly or argumentatively or anything. It was just agreeable, and that's what happened. Then I really did some exploring. And then when I became a missionary, I stayed with the missionary guy for 14 years. We didn't get legally married. It was kind of like a marriage under God. Okay. And that felt natural to do. I knew it was good for me, personally, to calm my jets and get situated with something higher than myself. And then that split was just easy. He says, well, I guess you want a divorce? I said, yeah. He said, well, let's hear from the Lord about it. I said, sure. And he said, oh, the Lord said, okay. So we split, and then within a couple of weeks, I met my partner that I'm with now, which I knew was the one, the forever. Just knew it. I still know it. And it just happened. Okay, so these things happen. Now, it does feel like there are timelines, possibly after certain children come through with that particular mommy and daddy. Maybe it's complete. Maybe that was the mission. Those children wanted that particular mother, father, and it just happened. So, before I moved in with my partner here, I wanted to know how to have a successful relationship. How is it going to work and work out? And I did all these spiritual studies and, all this stuff. And the day that I left Texas to come here and live with my partner, after 5 years of on and off, he was kind of scared. I was fast and pushy, and, we had to get through all of that. There was a quote that I put by my bed as I was packing, and I picked up the quote, and the quote said, "Expectations ruin relationships." And it just hit me so hard, like, you better remember this one. Out of all the studies and all this, seeming this and that, just remember this one. So I did. And I could tell every time we had a spat or a disagreement, I had to come back to this expectation thing. Now, I remember when things really started to change for the better, which wasn't too long ago, was when it occurred to me to give him every right to say, to do, to act any way that he wanted, or that it was just going to land that way. Before that, I get irritated at his tone, or my ego would flare out. He wasn't respecting me, or, all of those ego things. And once I gave him that every right, he has every right to have the tone that comes out, the way he says it, what he says, how he does things, how he talks supposedly to me. He has every right to do that. And then along with that, I have every right to come back with however I do, to respond any way that I do. I just gave him and I that right. And as I was doing that, I noticed that I was allowing myself more space, as I'm allowing him all the space in the world, that I had all that space too. I could come out with anything, or express myself any way I felt, or just accept how it comes out and accept how it comes out of him. And then I noticed that we didn't have to defend ourselves anymore because I was allowing, and I was allowing him, and I told him, you have every right. You have every right to talk to me like that, or talk to yourself this way, or cuss, or fuss, or however, all the things that used to irritate me, I allowed it and gave him every right. And in doing that, he didn't have to defend himself. I didn't have to defend myself. We were just accepting. As I accepted him, he accepted me. And if he didn't, well, that was okay too. He had every right not to accept my rights. I was accepting it. And that kind of turned into loving myself. Loving myself. Allowing. Not even considering I should have said it different, or he should have, or it was supposed to be different, or even the right or wrong. The should haves, the ought tos, Oh, that was just so wrong, or even that was so right. Forget it. It just happened. So, at this point, I can just stay present and kind of watch rather than get so involved in what's going on or being said or how it's happening. It's just happening. And it's not right or wrong. It has every right to happen the way it's happening. And we were giggling more together, we're laughing more, that was the thing that we loved about each other, was just having so much fun together. And then, of course, you go through the ins and outs and you're not having fun and you're getting too serious. But all along I've always known that we are forever. It was different. Other relationships, okay, that's it, I'm out here. But not with this one. This one has a different flavor. It's got a forever flavor to it. And it just is. That's just the way it happened. So I guess you can take this for however you like. But there's a lot to be said about loving yourself and allowing yourself just to be. And I really feel like if we do that, then we're allowing everything else to just be and to just happen. So, I love you all. I am thrilled to wish you a really happening, accepting life. Aloha.